Have you ever pondered the question, who is the Islamic Antichrist and what is his role? It's a question that stirs the mind, isn't it? The concept of the Antichrist is intriguing and somewhat mysterious. In Christianity, the Antichrist is often viewed as a single powerful entity that will arise in the end times, a figure of deception and malice who opposes Christ. But did you know that Islam also has its own interpretation of the Antichrist? In Islamic teachings, this figure is known as the Dajjal, a deceiver who will come forth during the end times. While there are similarities between these two perspectives, there are also striking differences that make this subject all the more fascinating. The question of who is the Islamic Antichrist and what will he do opens the door to a world of intriguing theological discussions. Let's delve deeper into this fascinating topic. In Christian theology, the Antichrist is a figure of evil. This character is prophesied in the Bible and is often associated with deceit, corruption, and ultimately, the end times. The Antichrist, as described in Christian teachings, is a figure who will rise to power in the last days, deceiving many with false miracles and promises of peace. The term Antichrist is derived from the Greek language, carrying the meaning of against Christ or instead of Christ. This is indicative of the role the Antichrist is believed to play, opposing and attempting to replace Jesus Christ. The New Testament of the Bible, particularly in the books of Daniel, Thessalonians, and Revelation, provides us with the most detailed descriptions of the Antichrist. In these texts, the Antichrist is portrayed as a charismatic leader, a deceiver, who will gain a large following through his persuasive powers and perceived miracles. He is said to create a false sense of peace and security, leading many astray from their faith. However, these promises of prosperity and peace are a facade. The Bible warns that the Antichrist's reign will be marked by turmoil and devastation. It is believed that during this time there will be widespread apostasy or falling away from the faith, as the Antichrist continues to deceive the masses. From a Christian perspective, the appearance of the Antichrist signifies the imminent return of Jesus Christ, who will defeat the Antichrist and establish his eternal kingdom. This is a time of both great trial and great hope for Christians. In these teachings, the Antichrist serves as a test of faith and a call to vigilance. Christians are encouraged to remain steadfast in their beliefs, to discern truth from deception, and to hold fast to the hope of Christ's triumphant return. With this understanding of the Christian perspective, we can now examine the Islamic viewpoint. In Islam, the equivalent of the Antichrist is a figure known as the Dajjal. This intriguing figure is described in various hadiths, the sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad, as a mighty and deceptive being who will emerge towards the end of time. The Dajjal, according to Islamic eschatology, is a one-eyed figure who will claim divinity and mislead many with his supernatural abilities. He's often described as a giant man with curly hair and a ruddy complexion. He will have the word kafir, which means disbeliever, written between his eyes, visible to both literate and illiterate individuals. The hadiths also provide insight into the actions and role of the Dajjal. It is said that he will travel the world in 40 days, causing chaos and confusion wherever he goes. He will perform miracles, such as causing the rain to fall and the earth to yield its crops, to deceive people into believing his false claim of divinity. However, he will not be able to enter Mecca or Medina, the two holy cities of Islam, which will be protected by angels. The Prophet Muhammad warned his followers to recite the first and last 10 verses of Surah Al-Kahf, a chapter from the Quran, as a protection against the Dajjal's deception. The Dajjal's reign will come to an end with the second coming of Jesus, known as Isa in Islam, who will defeat him. Jesus is revered in Islam as a prophet, and his return is considered a major sign of the Day of Judgment. The belief in the Dajjal is not a central tenet of Islam, but it is a part of Islamic eschatology, which deals with the events of the end times. The emphasis is more on the moral lessons to be learned from the Dajjal's story, such as the importance of steadfastness in faith and the danger of being misled by false claims and miracles. Now that we've explored both perspectives, let's compare and contrast them. Although stemming from different faiths, there are some striking similarities and differences between the Christian Antichrist and the Islamic Dajjal. Understanding these can help us appreciate the intricate facets of faith and belief in our diverse world. Let's start by exploring the similarities. Both Christianity and Islam foresee the arrival of a great deceiver during the end times. In Christianity, this figure is known as the Antichrist, while in Islam, he is referred to as the Dajjal. Both figures are described as charismatic leaders who will lead people astray with false promises and deceptive miracles. They are seen as a test of faith, a challenge that believers must overcome to prove their devotion and steadfastness. However, the differences between the two figures are equally as fascinating. In Christian belief, the Antichrist is often associated with a political or religious leader who rises to power in the end times, leading many away from the truth of God. The Antichrist is seen as a figure who denies the divinity of Christ and opposes his teachings. On the other hand, Islamic tradition describes the Dajjal as a one-eyed man with the word disbeliever written between his eyes, visible only to those of true faith. The Dajjal is said to travel the world, performing miracles to deceive people, and his reign will only end with the return of Jesus, known in Islam as Isa, who will defeat him. It's interesting to note that while Christianity views the Antichrist as an opponent of Jesus, in Islam, Jesus himself plays a crucial role in defeating the Dajjal. This contrast in roles underscores the different ways the two faiths perceive the end times and the figures who will play pivotal roles in these events. While different in many ways, these perspectives share the common theme of a great deceiver appearing near the end times. Such shared narratives remind us that despite our differences, we often grapple with similar questions about faith, morality, and the ultimate destiny of humankind. We've journeyed through the Christian and Islamic views on the Antichrist and Dajjal, understanding their roles and anticipated actions. We've delved into the depths of these two religious perspectives, unraveling the intricate tapestry of beliefs, interpretations, and expectations. We've seen how the Antichrist in Christian belief is a figure of deception and destruction, while the Dajjal in Islamic belief is a similar figure of chaos and tribulation. In this journey, we've embraced the importance of understanding, respect, and dialogue. It's crucial to appreciate the diversity of beliefs that form the world's spiritual landscape. Speaking of appreciating diversity, we have an assortment of charity Christian clothing available in our store. The link is in the comments section. Your purchase will aid charitable causes and help spread the message of love and unity. We hope this discussion has been informative. Please like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts. Stay tuned for more enlightening discussions on our channel.